Hi, I'm Rue from Warm and Safe. Today I'm going to be explaining some of the features of our heated gear for our Japanese riders. This is our 90-watt heated jacket liner. They come in both male and female versions, with the male version being more broad in the shoulders and the female version more contoured to the lines of a woman. And for the Japanese market, we have a double zipper made by YKK, as well as a fleece inner collar. This is a heated collar as well, and an easy hang hook. The heated jacket liners feature stretch panels both on the back of the arms and on the sides of the garment. And what these stretch panels do is ensure a proper fitment, which means that the garment's tight against your body and you actually feel the heat coming off the garment. Our heated jacket liners feature double zippers for the Japanese market. They also feature reflective panels on the backs of the arms and the back of the neck. The power cable is located in the front left pocket of each garment. If you're using a wired controller, this will go directly to the wired controller. If you're using a remote, the receiver will be located inside the pocket, and this will go directly to your battery cable. Now, underneath, you have the accessory port. This would go to your heated socks, heated pants, or whatever accessories you're going to be using with the heated jacket. And on each wrist, we have mounted connectors for the heated gloves or heated glove liners. And incorporating it into the garment like this actually prevents you from having to run a separate line and get in your way while you're riding. Located in the front of each sleeve is a connector for heated gloves or heated glove liners. I've got a pair of heated glove liners on right now, but as you can see, the connector goes right into the heated glove liner, preventing you having another cable or something to get in your way while you're riding. This is our 60-watt heated vest, and opposed to our 90-watt heated liner, it's actually a little bit easier to take on and off, and being 60 watts as opposed to 90 watts means it's a little bit easier on your alternator if you have a smaller bike or a scooter. So it's kind of more of an everyday solution for people who are on scooters or just want to get in and out and take it on and off real quickly. Now, the power cable is located in the same location as the jacket liner, the front left pocket, and same location for the accessory port underneath. The only difference here, besides not having the arms, is if you want to use heated gloves with this, you still can, and the cable for the gloves comes out at the top of the shoulder and comes all the way down to connect to your heated gloves or heated glove liners. These are our classic rider gloves, and these are made with real leather, and they feature a thinsulate lining as well as a waterproof lining, so you will not get wet if you use them in the rain. And they actually come in both a male and female version, with differences being basically in the thickness of the hand and the fingers. And they have straps to help fit your hand. Each individual person is going to have a slightly different fit, so you're going to want them as tight as possible. But that being said, even without the heating element on right now, they're nice and warm. There's also stretch on the top of each knuckle, and that's because you're going to be doing a lot of clutch work and gripping, and they need to be able to handle that without flexing the heat elements in it too much and causing a failure there. And another thing I should mention is the wiper on the left thumb. So during the rain, you're going to want to have something to wipe your visor off with, or if it fogs up, even when it's not raining, you can get a fogged up visor. This is really handy to have on the gloves. This is a 35-watt heated pant liner. The power cable is located in the front in a small zippered pocket up here. And you have connectors on the back of the bottom of the legs, and these connect to heated socks or heated insoles. The entire garment's made with a stretch material, stretches all ways, to side and up and down. And the reason for this is you want it as flat against your skin as possible, so you want to wear it like tights. You don't want this baggy or folding over on itself. You want it tight and flat against your skin, and you'll feel the heat the best. The heat panels are mostly located on the front of the garment, and that's because it's designed for people who ride motorcycles or other vehicles where you're going to be getting hit by wind in the front. So this will keep you warm. You don't need as much heat on the back where you're not going to be getting as much wind. One area that's the exception is in this area on the back, right above the lower back, where you're actually going to want a little bit of heat. This is our heated glove liner and our heated sock liner. Now both of these use our carbon heating element, which is almost like human hair. It's really soft and flexible, and it's run throughout each of these, but you will never feel it. You can feel the inside of these. You will never feel the wire in there. I know a lot of people, when they first look at a heated sock or a heated glove, the first thing they're worried about is feeling the wires inside. You cannot feel the wires inside of these at all. There is no wire like that. It's just the carbon heating element, which is, like I said, human hair, which is soft and flexible. You will not feel it in there at all. Both of these products are machine washable. You can throw them inside a delicate garment net and throw it inside your washing machine and wash them. And both these connect to the jacket liner and the pants liner connections that are located on each garment. All of our garments are actually washable, with the glove liners and the socks actually being machine washable if you use one of the delicate nets. But it's a great feature to have because, you know, you're going to get dirty and you're going to sweat in these, so you want to be able to wash your garments. All of our garments come with this neat little storage bag that you can fit everything in. There's a jacket, vest, or your pants. They all fold up and fit into something this small. In addition to be able to store it in something like this, you can throw it in your backpack or in your saddlebag and just, in general, get it out of the way. This is our dual channel remote heat controller. All of our heated gear is designed to be used with heat controllers. If you do not have a heat controller, you should not use the gear. You do not want to be using a 12-volt power source directly. Now we have various different models of the heat controllers, and they're all waterproof and they're all built to last and withstand the regular use outside in the sun and through the elements. Now this one, being a 2-channel, actually lets you independently control the heat on 2 different components. For example, the heat on a jacket liner and the heat on a pair of gloves, or heat on the jacket liner and heat on the pants. And if you have a full set of heated gear, for example, jacket, gloves, pants, and socks, you can actually make it like a dual zone controller. You can control the jacket and gloves on one channel and the pants and socks on a separate channel. So usually most people start off with a single channel, will eventually go to a dual channel, so I recommend, if you plan on buying more than just the jacket or even just a jacket and gloves, I recommend starting off with a dual channel. Now I'm going to show you the ways to connect the heated jacket liner to the various components of the system. First, in the front left pocket you have the power connector. Next, on the tops of each sleeve, you have the glove connectors. Last of all, you have the maintenance port on the inner lower back portion of the jacket. And what this is basically a port into the internals of the jacket, and most users won't use it, but it's basically for repairs if necessary in the future. If you get a short or something happens and it's out of warranty, you can send it back to us and we can repair it, and you won't have to buy a whole new jacket. Now the heated jacket liner actually has, inside the front left pocket, besides the power cable, a sewn-in sleeve that fits the receiver, just like this. So, as you can see on the bottom of the power cables, and connectors are going to come out through here, and it just slides in. Now, one channel you'll connect directly, and the second channel, this yellow one, is going to go through this hole sewn into the inside of the pocket. Now, a very often asked question is the garment washable? And yes, it is hand washable, and it is hand washable as is, meaning that you don't need to put any tape or anything over the connectors. The thing we do recommend is you put the connectors in the pockets that they come from, because when you're washing, you don't want the connectors bouncing around and getting damaged, or basically getting in your way as you're washing. So basically, you just want to close up the garment, put all the connectors inside the pockets. Like that, and you're ready to wash it. Now, whether you're using a single channel heat controller with the Y cable or a dual channel, you're going to be left with a power cable coming out of the accessory port here. Now, ideally, if you have heated pants, this is going directly to the heated pants power cable, which is located on the top left portion of the heated pants here. Now, it just plugs in easily like that. And if you're wearing this, this is the front left of the jacket and the front left of the pants. So you've got a cable going directly in there. It's not being wrapped around you or going any which way. It's directly in there, so it's not going to get in your way while you're riding. Now, once you've got your heated pants connected, if you've got a pair of heated socks, they can easily be connected to the pants. The connector for the heated socks is located on the back leg of each pant leg. It can be accessed just by unzipping the pocket, and you've got the connector there. It just plugs directly into each sock. This gives you a watertight seal, and when wearing it, you've got the line going directly to the sock, so there's no unnecessary wiring going anywhere. Now I'm going to show you how to connect the heated jacket liner to a single channel controller. Here we have a single channel portable controller. The single channel remote controller and 5-volt controller will be basically the same connections. Red power cable here, this is going to your battery cable or 12-volt power supply, and this gray connector with the red markings on it, which will go to the jacket. Now, with the single channel controller, you can control gloves as well, but you need to ensure that the glove cable here is connected to the power cable inside the accessory port. If they're not connected, the gloves will not get warm. Now, one thing you can do is you can actually power the entire system with just the single channel controller, and you can do that by the supplied Y cable. And this comes in every jacket liner and every pant liner package, so you already have it if you have the jacket or the pant liner from us. And what it basically does is it splits the power cable here in the accessory port into two different power cables. One that can go directly to the gloves, and one that will go to pants, socks, or whatever other components you're using. Now I'm going to explain how to connect a heated jacket liner to a dual channel controller. Here we have a dual channel remote controller, and just like the single channel portable I showed you previously, you've got a power cable that goes to the battery cable or to your 12-volt power source. But unlike the single channel, you actually have two different connectors that go towards the garment. You have this red one, which is basically synced to this red dial, and this yellow one, this is synced to this yellow dial. Now I'm going to explain to you the new feature on the new version of the remote heat controller, which is basically a feature that allows you to know the remote is synced and working properly without even looking at the receiver. Now right now, there's no power on each of them, and there's no power, specifically there's no power on the receiver. So if I try to adjust the temperature using the remote, the LED lights while I'm turning it, but there's nothing afterwards. Now, if I give power to the receiver, as you can see, there's power on the receiver, and I adjust the temperature, now it not only flashes while I'm turning it, but there's a confirmation flash afterwards to let me know that it's synced. This is on both channels. So I can show you turning it up to 100%. You can see the solid LEDs here. And turning it down, you can see the confirmation flash, and you can see the temperature has been turned down on this channel. And do it again with the red channel. Down almost to 1%. And the LED reflects that. And going back to 100%, you have solid LEDs and you have the confirmation flash. In order to avoid any confusion, I'm going to now explain the differences between the new version of the remote heat controller and the previous version of the remote heat controller. Now in front of me we have two dual heat controllers, this new remote and this previous version of the remote. Now right off the bat you can see there's some differences just looking at the LEDs. There's clear LEDs on the new version and there's colored LEDs on the previous version. The same goes with the receiver. You've got a red LED and a yellow LED on the previous version of the receiver. You've got a clear LED and a yellow LED on the new version. Now the functions of these LEDs are actually quite different. On the previous version of the receiver, the red LED functions to blink in sync with the red or yellow channel on the remote, with the priority given to the red. That meaning that if you're using both channels, the red channel is what it actually syncs to. The yellow LED will only come on if the polarities are crossed on the battery cable that this receiver is plugged into. On the new version of the receiver, the clear LED will blink red in sync with the red channel. The yellow LED will blink in sync with the yellow channel. If you cross the polarities on the battery cable plugged into this receiver, you will get the clear LED lighting up yellow. Now I'm going to show you how to sync the dual channel remote controller. All the Japanese market ones are actually pre-synced, so you probably never have to actually do this, but should the case arise, I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, here we have a dual remote heat controller. This is the remote, this is the receiver. Now, these are not synced at the moment, so I'll turn both the dials on the heat controller off. And if I give power to the receiver, it automatically defaults to 1/3 power on both channels. And because it's not synced right now, if I try to control it, like I put 100% power on the yellow, it's not changing to 100%, it's still at 1/3 power because they're not synced. So what I'm going to do is show you how to sync it. Now, to begin, you want to have no power to the receiver, so it should be completely off with no power. And on the remote, you can do it with either the red or the yellow, it doesn't matter which one. But you turn it on, off, on, off, on, off, until you get both the lights blinking like this. You know it's in sync mode at this point. Now you're going to give the receiver power while this is in sync mode. And once the sync mode begins, you've got 1 minute to give the receiver power. So within that time frame, if you plug a receiver in, it will begin syncing. So it's syncing right now, and because both of these are in a totally off state, now that it's synced, the receiver has power off on both channels. And now that it's synced, if I give the yellow channel power, it lights up. If I give it 100% power, it will be solid. The red, if I started off with a small, maybe it's like a 5% setting right now, it's flashing. If I give it 100%, it should be solid, just like that. Now every time you adjust it, for example, I'm adjusting it here, it actually lets you know it's synced by flashing a confirmation flash every time you turn the dial. So So you see, every time you turn each one of them, it lights up while you're turning it. Then when you let go, it does a confirmation. Now, if there's no receiver, see I've taken the power away from the receiver, and you turn the dial, it lights up, but because there's nothing to sync to, there's no confirmation. So this is telling you it's either not synced or there's no receiver to receive the signal it's sending.